G'day, mates. This is Greg Gallagher with G3 Investors, and this is the only video I'm going to do this week. Holidays are coming up. The markets will close tomorrow, so this is it. So I'll try to make it a special one. You know, you have these moments where, and throughout my life, I met all these geniuses, and I'm always attracted to these geniuses. But I was working in Houston, Texas. I was the newly minted CFO of an oil and gas company. Had about 400 million in assets. I felt like I was on a cork in a very big ocean, because that's nothing in the oil and gas business. Anyway, ran into this character named Mark. Okay, 1982, folks. They didn't have these charts that you're looking at. This nice little chart that I'm showing you here. I just went in there and put in SPX and got the S&P 500, and you got a chart. Voila, you got a chart from 1990 to 2020. And we're looking at a megaphone chart pattern. And why do I say hope it doesn't happen? Hope this isn't real. Well, this guy I ran into, Mark, he carried in these suitcases. I went down to get a cup of coffee, snuck down to get my coffee and donut. That's the price of the $5. That's what it costs to become a patron of G3 Investors. Hey, I go down there, and this guy shows up. And so I get to know him, find out he's an ex-military guy. He's a drill sergeant. And here he is. He every day he carries in these big things. What do you got in this big bag, or this big? It was like he rolled it in, and Fidelity had a monitor, and he was a high user. He was an options trader, and he said, "Well, I'm retired from the army. I'm not married, and blah 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 blah. And these are charts." And I go, "Well, he's got a little book on the table, and he's got all these charts where he's hand drawn them, and geez, I'm like, what the heck is this guy doing?" And the guy goes, "Well, these are the ones I trade with daily." I said, "Well, what's in the big bag?" It was almost like a suitcase. And he goes, "Oh," he says, "those are my long-term charts." So he says, "I'm searching for a megaphone chart." And I'm like, what the hell do you want to search for a megaphone chart for? Well, this is why, folks. Because the megaphone chart is a very bearish pattern, and it doesn't happen very often. And you hope it doesn't happen. Why? Because it goes 1, 2, 3. We got 3 lower lows, and we got 1, 2, 3 higher highs. Okay, no problem. The problem is I don't believe that we're done. This was the starting point. 1, 2, 3. We need another lower low here. Okay, so, and here's the really bad part about this. So some people will say, well, that point right there says that we're in a new secular bull market. Okay, well, if we are, we're at awful high PEs, and we're getting really squirrely out here. So am I supposed to believe that this is really we're off to the races, and this little 30% correction that we've had here is not going to repeat itself like these 50% corrections did here, or even worse? Okay, I was expecting it to go down here, and I was wrong. Hey, I've been wrong before. Mr. Market is always right. And again, I'm trying to say to you, I hope it doesn't happen. Okay, I hope it doesn't happen. But certain events with this coronavirus, C virus, has happened that leads me to believe that we might be in for this one. Again, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope I'm wrong. But you need to prepare yourself. You need to have a game plan in case this does happen. Because if it does, it's going to wipe out a lot of wealth in this country. And, as we go on, hey, here's a mini megaphone chart. This is a 5-year chart. And it looks completed. So I have traders who say, "You're completely wrong, Greg, you moron. You might be a moron." Well, I know that. I might be a moron. And I'm not saying I'm going to change my whole lifestyle here, but so that may be a completed pattern, and it may be off to the races. And Donald Trump's right. We're going to have the fastest recovery we've ever had in our history. He's been right about a lot of stuff. I hate to say it. I know that probably disagrees with half the people out here who are listening to my voice right now. Okay, one chart, why I think it's going to be serious. This is the Global Purchasing Manager Index. Okay? Now, That dotted line right there, if you're above that, it's glory be, hallelujah. We're off to the races, folks. Everything's great. Do you ever see anything like that in history? Well, I can tell you, you can go back through history, and I don't think you'll see anything like this, because I don't think they kept this report. This report didn't exist. It came from the Globalization and Monetary Policy Institute from the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas. Okay, they didn't have this crap back in 1929 and 1930. They didn't even know about this stuff. So if they did, it would probably look something like this. Okay, I'm going to go on. Try to be okay. I'm calling this week. I'm dedicating this week to the coronavirus. Okay, because I feel like I'm justified, because I've been saying almost before anybody else that I know, including trader friends and family and everybody. Nobody believes me when I said this, but I'm looking at the C virus fake news. Here's the real news. Trump didn't respond timely. Well, Trump shut down travel with China on February 2nd while he was being impeached. The U.S. deaths will be 2 million, 1 million, 250,000, 100,000. And this is that little nerd, Fauci or whatever he is, the little scientific nerd. This guy may have punched the bubble in our economy and everything. What are the deaths at? Well, I hear this morning that they're likely to be less than 60,000. I don't even think they're going to make that. We can probably go 50, 40, 30. It certainly wouldn't be, oh, wait, let's come on. More fake news. Trump's fault that New York didn't get the ventilators. Oh, yeah, right. Here's the facts, folks. Obama didn't replace them from the H1N1. He was supposed to. He had the money to do it, but he didn't do it. Who knows what he did with the money? We'll never find out. They're Democrats. Oh, and Mario Cuomo, he sold New York's excess ventilators. That doesn't come out in the news because you stupid people watch Fox News or whatever news it is. You can't trust the news. The news is wrong. I used to think Fox News was a great... Now, there are certain people on there. Sean Hannity, what's her name? Laura Ingraham. Those people are pretty good. And there are others. It's not everybody's bad, but most of them are. Okay. Hydrochloroquine doesn't work. Well, early use of doctors, and this is on the Laura Ingraham show. She's done a fantastic job on this. Shows that it's 99% effective. Oh, but it's not tested and it's not safe. Well, Google the history of the tetanus shot and see how much testing was done before it was used. Hey, you scrape yourself on a rusty nail or a piece of metal. What do? You go into the doctor. He says, when was the last time you had a tetanus shot? He shoots you up right now. I mean, come on, folks. We've got to stop listening to CNN and NBC. I can't stand it. They're terrible. And these poor people. I'm in a retirement community, folks. I'm old enough to know better. And I go to the pool and I hear these old people talking about, well, he's such a great speaker. They're talking about Mario Cuomo. You know how I can tell he's lying? When his mouth's moving. It's just unbelievable. I'm sorry to go on a rant, but I just can't help myself. Let's go on. U.S. was slow to respond with the test kits. The response was unprecedented. They have pulled out all the stops. 2.2 million tests in the United States versus 35% of all tests. Hey, the accuracy of the death causation. Now, this is terrible. We're talking about death, and I don't want you to take this way. I know it's a plague on the earth and it's bad, but it's a flu virus that we just didn't have a vaccine for. Okay, that's what it really is. Now, how do I know that? I don't, but this is the logic of Greg Gallagher. And hey, I'm sorry if it offends you or whatever, but this is it. The accuracy of the death causation is 100% accurate. Bull crap. Complications. Everybody that dies from this thing are old, they're fat, they have respiratory problems, they're diabetic, they're smokers, they have heart problems, blah, 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 blah. Who knows if they just got the regular flu, they wouldn't have died for this. Does anybody examine that? Has anybody looked at it? Has Dr. Fauci or whatever his name is, has he done any of this crap? Hell no. He's still looking at his models, saying there's 200,000 going to die. Okay, China handled the C virus the best. They're so honest. The mainstream media is actually launching this crap on you folks. And if you listen to that, I'm sorry. You are a moron. You're not, you might be a moron. You are a moron. Google is China's worst cover-ups in history. And if you don't believe that, I want to sell you some property in Florida. Because I tell you, it's just, China never tells the truth. Never. They never do. And they hate America. And if you think they're not trying to, and I'm not saying it's this virus is some conspiracy, but if you think they're not trying to overthrow us, and if you think they want Donald Trump reelected next November, you are crazy. You are crazy. Oh, and the C virus is the worst pandemic in modern history. See above. We'll look at the facts here, but hell, there's the flu, the Spanish flu of 1980. It killed, what, 75 million people? Infected 500 million worldwide, killed 675,000 in the United States. And even the S1, the flu, what's it called? The swine flu, the T1 or S1 or N1 or H1 or whatever it was. That one was just as bad, if not worse. And I tell you, and then there's other things. Hey, how about AIDS? From 1981 to 2012, 65 million people were infected worldwide. 2.8 million died in 2005. Oh, wow, this thing, though. Let's shut the whole world economy down. The economic recovery will be fast. Now, this, I will tell you, Trump exaggerates. He's a New Yorker. He is a New Yorker. But I'm going to say this. You want to bet? Stay tuned for the rest of this video presentation, because if you want to bet that, you're betting a lot for a little bit of gain. Okay, let's look at here's the SPY. Okay, and this is a 1-year daily chart. And I'm trying to show you here, this is chop. Okay, this is a choppy market. Right there, that is a bull market. That is a bull run. The market runs 3 runs to a top. Boom. You know, I don't know if I showed that video in a video. If I don't, I will sometime. This is unprecedented. This doesn't happen very often. Okay. And when this happens, this is not a normal market. Okay. It's not. And no matter what I call up, the Qs, it all looks the same. See? Sloppy, choppy, bull market. Little scare there. Hello, what in the heck is this? And you think that we're going to go down here and up here and just keep going. Oh boy, we're going to be the Energizer Bunny here. Yep. I'll sell you that property. There's the XLK. This is technology sector. It doesn't matter, folks. XLI, industrials. Hey, let's look at them. Ooh, that's a good chart. XLF. We don't need the banks, do we? No. What do we need the financial sector for? How the bank's going to recover from this? This is only going to take a little bit of time. We're just going to go straight right back up. And by the end of the year, man, we're going to be, with all this stimulus money we're printing, you can't print enough money. You know, what was it? A restaurant. Oh, here's the best one. The best one yet is these people furlough people. You know, and I apologize. I used someone as an example and I shouldn't have. But, you know, they furloughed these employees for this restaurant. Furloughed them. What the hell does that mean? Well, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to get out of paying the unemployment insurance. They don't want them to go file for unemployment. They're entitled to it. And this unemployment and this stimulus is huge. It's $650 a week or something like that. For 13 weeks here in Florida, that's $8,400. You know, whether you can afford that or not is irrelevant. You got to take advantage of it. And I can't because I'm not unemployed. But if you got furloughed or whatever, go out and file for unemployment. And if they fight you, you'll win. Okay, now I'm just showing you here. Here's some of the people on Seeking Alpha. There's some really talented people out there. I don't even know this guy, but I know his logic is good. What's he saying? He's saying this time is different, and it's not beyond my grasp. How come not everybody thinks so? It's the same thing I'm saying. Why does he think that way? Well, look at what he's saying. Look at some of the charts he's putting in here. Offense wins games. Defense wins championships. Absolutely. Risk management is the most critical thing to investing, trading, whatever. And anybody who says you can just buy and hold and don't worry about it, they're full of crap. Full of it. This time it's different. Here the numbers are getting so big that you really need to see a chart like this every once in a while. But look at these crashes here. You think that we're just going to turn around from that and go up? He's using Y charts. I don't even know what it is. And I'm just perusing it. You can go in and read the article. Stop the video presentation that I'm doing. Look at these things. Look at some of these things. And the restaurant guy that laid off 18,000 employees or whatever, he's fired them now. He's shutting down. He's done. He just went bankrupt. Restaurants don't come back from 30 days. I'm not blaming Trump or anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying these are the facts, man. These are the facts. But hey, wait until next week. The market's closed on Friday. Next week we get to do this all over, folks. We really do. I'm sorry. I want to go on with my presentation here, but next week we get to start hearing from these companies. Wait for that. Oh, you're going to be so impressed. Now, am I unhappy with how I did this week? Yes, I am. But no, I'm not. Not really. When you see what the week did, when you see how crazy it was. Anyway, we're still crushing the market. I had a disappointing week, and so far a disappointing month, and I'll get to that in just a minute. I'm not happy, but hey, and here we are. Am I a trader or am I not a trader? What happened for the second time this week, and the first time in the history of G3 investors, I went from being fully invested to zero investments to being fully invested twice in 1 week. If that's not volatility, I'd like to know what is. At any rate, we're 100% invested, and this little light purple thing means we don't have any money. If those trigger today, we can't get in them. We don't have any money. We're fully invested. There's nothing for me to do. Hey, that's what it was like all through January and most of February. I just said, we're fully invested. We're fully invested. How many videos can you do when you're that? Not very many. You can see, here was the interim high. There's last week and there's this week. There's the trading, folks. This is nuts. You don't see moves like this. You don't see a 3% move in a week. Rarely. A month, yeah, that's a pretty good move for a month. I made 3% last month. Hey, 3% times 12 is 36%. I'm sorry to be yelling and ranting, but oh God, I'm so upset. Okay, so how did we do? Well, here's our positions. We're up $929. We could lose that today. I don't even know what the futures are doing. They're negative. But wait till they're going to announce the layoffs this week, okay? It's going to be huge. I mean, last week it was, what was it, 6.6 million? I bet it'll be 10 or 15 million. Whatever it is, the market, Mr. Market knows. No, he doesn't. You have to respect the beast because he's the beast. But he doesn't know. He doesn't have any logic. Mr. Market is a bunch of people running from one thing to the next. That's what it really is, with a lot of money. And we have to follow it or get out of its way. It's just that simple. It's not complicated at all, folks. Okay, there are some encouraging signs. That is the gain for the week. That's a week. It's like the fears abate, the stocks soar. It was up. Tuesday it was up 2.9% and it closed down 0.3%. And yesterday it went up 2.6%. Now, look what happens here. When the S&P 500 and the Dow start leading and the NASDAQ starts taking a back seat, I become very concerned. Notice I didn't say I'm going to change anything about my trading style. No, I'm not. But here's the other thing that's positive. These numbers, hey, look, I took that out of the red because for the first time that I can remember, we've got double-digit gains on stocks that are greater than their 50-day moving average and their 200-day moving average. That's heading back in the right direction. But there's still a lot of technical damage out there. And there's a lot of reporting that's going to happen next week. Whew. Sorry to rant and rave at you, but I need to wake up people and make sure you understand the seriousness of this market. Because, and if you don't have a plan, please get a plan together so you know what you're going to do if this happens. This is Greg Gallagher with G3 Investors saying good luck, good trading, and have a wonderful Easter weekend with your families.